Hey everybody, welcome to Rider Club Radio, the ultimate episode of Rider Club Radio, because it's the ultimate episode of Kamen Rider Ex-Aid, except the movie and the spin-off series. I'm your host, Jeff.
And I'm Liam. And by ultimate, do you mean like final? Like, is this the last Rider Club Radio?
This is the last episode about Ex-Aid.
Okay.
You keep questioning me, it might be the last episode of Rider Club Radio.
We'll see. Folks, we'll see if I can pull it to be the end. Stay tuned.
This week we watched Kamen Rider Ex-Aid episode 45, which is the final episode, but not episode final.
Thank God.
And we also watched Choujin Sentai Jetman episodes 12 and 13.
Which were
or
lovely.
13 and 14. 13 and 14.
Okay, 13 and 14.
They were lovely episodes.
All three of them were lovely episodes.
Liam, tell us what happened on Ex-Aid this week.
Okay, so this week on Kamen Rider Ex-Aid, Masamune kicks everybody's ass. He's like, haha, Ex-Aid, you can't transform. I'm gonna beat everyone's dicks in. And he proceeds to do so. And they're all like level 50 and level 99 and level 100, whatever they can get to. He's winning. Badly. And he freezes time, and he's about to kill Emu, and Emu turns out is still infected with the Bugster virus, and he punches Masamune's driver and breaks it. Who knew that was the answer all along? Just break his fucking...
punch it.
Yeah, just punch his butt. Don't even have to transform, just punch it with your normal fist hard enough, and it will shatter.
It is a children's toy.
It's plastic, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, in series, it's just a children's toy, so...
So he breaks the driver, he cracks the screen, and everyone has, like, when they get beat up, they conveniently have every Geshat knocked out of them except for their level 1 and 2 ones. So they get up and they're like, we still have our old Geshats. They slam him in, they kick his ass. And Masamune's like, how are you doing this? How can you beat me at level 2? And they're like, because you can't freeze time, asshole. That's all, really.
Yeah, levels don't matter.
Levels literally don't matter in this show. They kick his ass. Masamune says, with me dies the secret of reviving all the victims. And he jams the Kamen Rider Chronicle Geshat into him, which kills him, I guess? He turns into green and wisps away.
It doesn't even say game over.
He becomes one with the earth. I don't know. It's
R.I.P.?
Rest in Peepo Papo. So he disappears. And everybody lives happily ever after. Kiria works with Genmu's new CEO, who's the Burger Man. And they're gonna make a medicine to solve the game illness. And fucking Emu becomes some kind of chief doctor. Hiro just keeps being cool. He keeps being the #1 surgeon on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Taiga...
Teaching. He's into teaching now.
He's into teaching.
Before, he thought it was, like, shit he had to do and he hated it. Mm-hmm. And now he's into it. Taiga
is allowed to become a doctor again. He has his own little firm that he keeps in the abandoned building.
He still is in, like, a fucking rundown, abandoned-ass fucking hospital building that's obviously been foreclosed.
But there isn't a piss-yellow filter over the camera every time you see it now, so it's clearly clean and good and ready to be a doctor place.
It looks like you could get tetanus from just looking at it wrong. But
when you do...
He has one patient in there.
Yeah. When you do get tetanus, you're already at the doctor, so...
I guess that's true.
Who's the real winner?
Miko has given all of her millions of dollars, which she had for video game winning, and she gave it to Genmu Corporation because she likes it. And I'm like, why?
That's some serious brand loyalty, Nico.
Why?
Maybe Genmu Corporation made her favorite game. Apparently they make all the games in this universe, so...
They do. And I mean, she liked Burger Boy, didn't she? Did she even meet Burger Boy? I don't remember.
That was so long ago.
Whatever.
Emu goes to a press conference and everyone's like, what about all the people that died? Masamune said he could bring them back. Are they fucked? And Emu said, probably, but we'll find a way in the next maybe 5 to 10 years. And everyone seems satisfied with that answer. Meanwhile, back at the pit...
That's a better answer than all your friends are dead forever, I guess.
But the thing is, like, Masamune comes out and he says, hey, you can save them if you win. Just win the game. And now he's gone, and everyone's like, how do we save them now? And Emu's like, we're working on it. TBA.
Honest.
I guess he was more honest, but it's everyone's fine with that. Back at the pit, Poppy is back because Dan absorbed the last bit of a virus into him when she died. And Parrot is also back because Emu also absorbed the last bit of the virus into him when he died. The end.
There used to be this saying in comic books, right?
Mm.
That death doesn't matter in comics except for Jason Todd and Bucky Barnes.
Mm.
And then they brought both of them back.
Yeah, I was going to say, aren't those two people both alive?
So death means nothing in Kamen Rider Ex-Aid unless you're Poppy, Peepa Popo, and Parrot.
Here's the thing that I don't like. So there was an earlier episode where you think Parrot died, and then it turns out Emu absorbed the virus into him at the last second.
Yes.
And now they do another episode where you think Parrot dies, but then Emu absorbs the virus into him at the last second.
Yes.
I liked this episode. I was very satisfied with this episode. That 5 minutes at the end, bullshit.
I agree. I'm pretty much in the same exact boat. This episode was very satisfying up until that moment because there was a bittersweet ending.
Yeah, and it is still a bit bittersweet. I do like that it's not like, oh, you beat Masamune, so everyone comes back to life. It's just like, wow, maybe we'll figure it out someday. I'm sorry, we fucked up.
Maybe they figure it out in episode final. What the fuck is the name of the
True Ending? True Ending.
Maybe they'll figure it out in True Ending with VR.
I bet they don't because that movie came out before the end of the show.
So it still takes place after it.
Yeah, but are they going to tell you straight up how the show ends? Or are they going to...
Maybe.
Maybe? I don't know. We'll see it in 17 months when it hits DVD and someone subs it.
They're doing all those, like, spin-off movies.
Yeah, that's the thing I want to talk about in the news section. There's a bunch of spin-off movies coming. We'll get to those. Let's talk about this episode.
Like I said, I really love the fact that it was like a Pyrrhic victory. They defeated the villain, but everyone was lost.
Mm-hmm.
And then Poppy and Parrot came back anyway, which was bullshit, and I hated it.
Fuck them, but the ending they have adds weight, like retroactively adds weight to all the people that died. Because before you're like, okay, they can be brought back, but they don't, which is a nice surprise, actually. I wasn't expecting it from Ex-Aid.
Yeah, I wouldn't have picked it out as something that they would actually do, so I appreciated that.
I think that was a smart move.
I feel like in a vacuum, this episode is like amazing.
Yep.
And well, not in a vacuum. Like even when you connect it to the previous episodes, I just really wish that 5 minutes didn't exist. I feel like that's gonna be the Ex-Aid thing. How people are like, oh, the last episode of Gaim doesn't exist, or the last episode of Double doesn't exist.
Yeah.
There's gonna be the last 5 minutes of Ex-Aid doesn't exist.
I liked that they recreated... Remember the very first episode, that opening bit, when it was all the riders in that smoky darkness? I like that they recreate that in the final episode, and that's what he's talking about.
It was awesome.
I thought that was a very clever little callback. The last few episodes are full of good callbacks. Just like last week, there was a lot of good little like things that come around, and I like that comes around.
Yeah, I like that they use the level 2 forms to defeat him. It doesn't make any sense logically, but I mean, from an audience viewpoint, it's a great, like, tie, like a little bow to tie the series up in. Like, they finish off what they started as their base forms with only their own strength.
Plus, the base forms are the best looking ones, honestly.
Yes.
All the other ones...
Besides Genmu.
There's a few exceptions, but like for the most part, the level 2 suits are the best in Ex-Aid.
I don't know if Kiri is level 2 as
best
or not.
Except for Kiri,
are silly looking.
All of his forms look awful. Giri Chanbara looks fucking awful.
Yeah, I mean his level 0 form is his best suit, but it still looks derpy as shit.
Yeah, I love level 0. I love level 1. I like level 1.
I love level 0. It looks silly, but I love it. And level 1 being a motorcycle will never not be funny.
No, and level 2 is the motorcycle. Level 1 is...
Level 2.
Yeah. Level 0...
I've only been drinking a little, okay?
Put the bottle down. It's time to record.
Tuesday night.
On a Tuesday night. I liked Dan's little delayed continue. They're fighting. Like, Dan dies, and he doesn't come back right away, and it's like a minute later, and was beating up Masamune, and he's like, hey, God, help me out, and Dan flies out of the pipe. Haha, delayed continue, and kicks him in the face.
I thought that was cool, but it was like another one of those things that happens all the time in tokusatsu in general, where, like, something happens that looks like it had to have been planned, but they couldn't possibly have planned it.
Well, maybe you should shut your dick hole.
Jesus.
Maybe they planned it out way in advance. Maybe
Look, if we ever get into this specific situation, I want you to say, hey, Kami, come help me out. And then Kami from Dragon Ball will show up and save you.
The second the Dan turned good, they were like, whoa, we gotta do that shit sometime. Like, on your last game over, we definitely have to try it.
Do you remember the moment when you found out that Kami from Dragon Ball, his name just meant God, and he was supposed to be the god of Earth?
Yeah.
My mind was fucking blown.
But
Then
it turns out later on that there's a whole race of Kamis on another planet.
Yeah.
And they can just eat each other to become stronger.
They fuse with light. They don't eat each other.
They basically absorb into each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it's fucking Dragon Ball. We end up on that and JoJo all the time.
No, there are worse things to end up on.
It's true. This episode was the perfect bookend for this series. I will say that. Besides the last 5 minutes. The episode wrapped everything up neatly with a bow. It got us all the callbacks we were looking for. The level 2s being the key to defeating Masamune. The Emu finally becoming the doctor he wanted to be. And his mentor shows up in the episode and plays a pretty big part in the second half of it. Like, being proud of him and who he's become.
Yeah.
And you get to see that Emu doesn't really care about that anymore. He cares about saving people.
Yeah, he's not scrambling for approval. Here's another thing we predicted that came true. The logistics of Dan and Kiria being bugsters for the rest of their lives are just forget about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
The only line that happens in the entire episode that has anything to do with that is when Emu's listing off the people who were erased by the bugsters, he lists Kiria and Dan.
Yeah. I wonder what if is there data? No, I guess not. I guess their data's not on there. Well, maybe it is. Maybe a copy of it. Could you make 2 Kirias?
Oh man, now you're getting into the Star Trek The Next Generation fucking transporter with Tom Riker.
What is this? Is there 2 Rikers?
Yeah, there's an episode where they find a crash landed ship on a planet, and it's a ship that Riker used to be on when he was younger, and they go down to salvage some shit from it, and Riker is there. And he says, I've been trapped on the planet the whole time, and it turns out that they created a duplicate of him because of a bunch of atmospheric shit when they transported him.
What the fuck?
So they're both technically Riker.
That's messed up.
It is fucked up, and you get some of the great characterization where it doesn't happen as often as it should, where there's a duplicate of somebody and both of them are good, technically, but they fucking hate each other, because there's no one on Earth that you would hate more than yourself if it was a different person.
Yeah.
I love that episode.
And one of them must die.
Nah, he lives.
Really? They just go their separate ways?
Yep.
Okay.
Spoilers.
I would have killed the other me if I met him.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's still murder. You're still murdering.
No, it's suicide.
It's not suicide if you're still alive. It's attempted suicide.
It's so it's okay, right?
I guess. You have to go to counseling for a long time.
No, I'll be fine. He was a pussy.
I am sure he was. I feel like we're veering off topic. The episode doesn't have like a whole lot of meat to it. It's just like a really great cap to the series. And I liked it a lot. there's a lot of emotion in Emu's speech at the end. And I love the fact that he starts listing off the people who disappeared and we get to see them.
It's a far cry. I remember from the first episode when he's sort of a bumbling. He trips and falls and he plays games on the job, and the nurses are yelling at him, and he kind of, you can tell he's a lot more serious. He understands a lot more what it means to be a doctor in this episode. You can see his development over the course of the show.
He's a big, strong man now.
He's a real man. It's satisfying.
He still looks like a 12-year-old boy, but he's a real big, strong man now.
Trust us.
It was nice to see all the characters that lost somebody that we saw like little snippets of.
Yeah, those characters that didn't matter at all during their episodes.
They get a callback, which is nice.
They get their callback. Yeah, it was a good bookend. It was a good episode.
I wonder what Build's gonna be like.
Are you ready to talk about news?
Wait a minute. Does Build come on this weekend or next weekend?
It's the new episode. The next episode is Build. This weekend is Build.
I always forget whether they skip a weekend or not, because sometimes they do because of golf or whatever.
No, Kamen Rider is fucking astonishing, in that it just never stops.
Yeah.
It's always, whenever I explain it to my friends, they're always astonished, because it's like, they're used to something like Game of Thrones, right? Where it's like a batch of episodes, and then next year there's another batch, and that's it.
Not next year.
Well, 2 years, whatever.
Yeah.
Or The Office or Brooklyn Nine-Nine or whatever you watch, where you get a batch for like a couple months, and then you gotta wait for the next batch. With Kamen Rider, it's just like, fuck you, it just doesn't stop. It's just every week forever, you deal with it.
It is endless. I'm really gonna need to budget my time a little bit more, because what always happens is, like, I end up having to watch everything before we record that day. Because I have to do so much other shit now. Being an adult sucks dick. Don't ever do it.
I'm halfway there.
You're a fucking adult. Technically.
Legally.
Yeah, let's hear about some news.
Okay, so if you turned off the episode right the second it faded out, you probably didn't see this, but there's a V-Cinema trilogy coming out called Kamen Rider Ex-Aid Another Ending. So there's
another ending.
2 is not enough. There's a third one. And it's going to be about
Shades of Ryuki.
It's going to be about there's like a Dan Kuroto is the true evil behind all this, and he makes a new game that everyone's got to deal with. The first one is Brave and Snipe, double feature. Mm-hmm. The second one is Paradox with Kamen Rider Poppy, double feature. And the third one is Genmu versus Laser, double feature. So
is Emu in these?
Yeah? I imagine he's in all of them, but he's just not like the main focus. The main focus is going to be the side riders. I like
just
that.
Like Go and Chase's movies.
Yeah. I like that they all focus on 2, though. It's Paradox with Poppy. It's fucking Brave and Snipe.
Well, here's the thing, right?
What?
Is Ex-Aid considered a multi-rider series? I'm gonna bring back this shit. Because how many
Who
riders
gives a
does it have?
shit?
It has like 7 riders.
It's got your ass level of riders, okay? That's how many riders it has.
You can't run from this anymore, alright?
We have to categorize every rider show into these 2 boxes.
I'm just wondering. Like, I don't categorize them into the 2 boxes. I'm just wondering if people do categorize it.
Because there's 7 riders, 8 if you count Masamune, which I would.
This dude is so fucking mad about these terms.
So, 8 riders I'd say is enough.
Jesus.
I'm angry.
Your tits.
I am tits. I am a boob.
These V cinemas seem like they're gonna be they could go one of 2 ways. They could be much like the show and therefore very enjoyable, or they can go straight up V cinema style and get very violent for no reason.
Full game. and just get really dark.
Ridiculous violence and edginess
for
no reason.
Given what I saw of the Snipe prequel V Cinemas, we could be going there.
Yeah.
The first episode of the Snipe prequel got kind of... I mean, there was a scene where a guy tries to transform with the wrong Gashat and, like, nearly dies vomiting up a bunch of blood.
Doesn't he actually die?
I think he does die for real, yeah. But
he dies.
It's violent. Like, it's not like he just pukes up a bunch of blood and starts hemorrhaging internally. Like, it's something like that, I think. And fucking, we know about the Beast Rider squad and the antics of Oja. So, I mean, maybe.
I just don't want it to turn into full Sherivan the movie with just like blood splatters every 3 seconds and drugs.
I would love to see a movie.
I love Sherivan the movie, by the way.
I want to see a movie that's tremendously violent and that has definite fucking... Like, I want to see Paradox and Poppy definitely having sex.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't want to see those two fucking weirdos with their ridiculous cartoon faces screwing.
Can bugsters even have sex? Probably not.
There are porn games, so yeah.
Lovelyka probably can.
Yeah, Lovelyka can definitely whip a donger out.
And Burgermon, but probably none of the others.
Why Burgermon?
Just don't ask questions. So these V Cinemas are coming out.
Is it because he was made by the weirdo?
These V Cinemas are coming out.
Are you saying
March,
he's having sex with
April,
Burgermon?
In April. What? Yes. These V Cinemas are coming out through March and April, and we will hopefully be able to enjoy them. Maybe Ex-Aid will be subbing them, I imagine.
Yeah, they seem to be into subbing everything related to Ex-Aid.
They are like the Ex-Aid group, so... Let's give Ex-Aid a round of applause, by the way, for finishing Ex-Aid. Bravo.
Kamen Rider, bravo.
I know there are a lot of people who watched RTA, and we watched RTA some weeks, but that's just because they're faster. Like, future generations, when they go back to watch Ex-Aid, definitely should be watching Ex-Aid, because their subs are better.
Yeah, I liked Ex-Aid subs way more. There was a long period of time where I just waited for them.
Yeah.
Because I liked them a lot better.
Their quality. Anyways, I can't wait for these movies. I hope they're really weird. I kind of hope they're shit. I'm kind of...
We got spoiled, I guess, with Ex-Aid, where we only had little things to pick on in it. Mm-hmm. And you're, like, ravenous for something to just tear apart now.
Ex-Aid was too good, and I'm like a starving wolf. I need something to rip into.
Jeez. I hope they're really good, because Ex-Aid deserves good spin-off material.
Fuck off. I don't want Build to be bad, because Build looks super cool.
You know the rule.
That's true. It's probably gonna be shit.
You know the inverse suit principle. It's a shame.
So also, speaking of V Cinemas and side movies and all kinds of other things, there is one last Kamen Rider thing coming out for Ex-Aid in spring of next year. It's a fucking hyper battle video about Kamen Rider Paradox. And it's about Hojo, it's about Emu and Paradox. Hojo Emu is his name, so sometimes I want to call him Hojo.
Immediately, I just pictured fucking Hojo from Agito.
If it was just fucking old-ass dad Hojo coming back for one last hurrah, that would be a great fucking HBV. No, they have to team up with Perfect Co-op Play and rescue Poppy, who's been captured. It's got a new Gashat. It's just a recolor of Gekitotsu robots. So,
yay!
Look forward to it. Emu's got a really cool new outfit, and that's all you need to know.
Yay!
Yay! That's all we know right now. I'm excited for that.
Is she kidnapped by, like, a turtle monster?
She's kidnapped by Dan Kuroto.
Dan?
They have to go into a hidden mystery in a labyrinth.
He's so dastardly.
I know, he never stops, does he?
He's so dangerous.
He's so dangerous.
All the girls like him because he's dangerous.
He's got an allure to him,
He's got an award-winning smile.
He's like, if you hang out with Dan, there's like a 50-50 chance he'll turn you into a video game. So it's exciting.
It's a chance I'm willing to take.
Lastly but not leastly, we got a bunch of magazine scans for Kamen Rider Build.
They will be in the blog post.
They will be in the blog post. A whole bunch of forms got revealed. chiefly among them the Hawk Gatling form, which is a hawk
gun
and
form.
Yeah, it's a hawk and a Gatling gun. He's got his gun form.
And I like that he has like a revolver cartridge for an eye.
Yeah, that's really neat. The like really barrels cool. Of his and his other eye is like a wing that sort of flies off. It's a really neat looking suit.
And he has like a giant pauldron with a wing on it.
Yeah. God, the suit looks cool. It also reveals a bunch of, I guess, not best matches of suits that I imagine are going to be actually in the show. Like there's Diamond Rabbit is there. Gorilla Tank is in it. Diamond, I think it's Comic on the other side. I can't tell.
I have no idea.
Rabbit Gatling is there. Tank and a thing that looks like a spiky fist. A mine?
Yeah, I wonder what that is. They usually use that as shorthand for mine and not like flail or mace.
Yeah, it's like a sea mine. Yeah. A form that looks like he has a vacuum cleaner on his arm, I want to say.
Fucking or Luigi's Mansion form.
Broom or something? I don't fucking know. There's a whole bunch, but what I like is that they're using mismatches. They're going to actually bother with the mismatched forms.
I hope they do.
I hope they do.
That's the thing, though, is like once characters that have a bunch of forms get like higher level forms, they just never use them again. That's Kamen Rider.
I'm sure they're not going to use these much. I'm sure it's going to be the best matches are going to be the most use for sure. But like in a realist, like if you were a Kamen Rider and you had all these combos, are you telling me you'd only use like 3 of them and wouldn't be like mixing and matching it all day?
Nah, I'd mix and match all day long, baby.
Mix and match that shit, because you'll come up to lots of different situations, and you may need to mix and or match.
You know, Build looks amazing, right? I love all of his wacky forms, and Rabbit Tank looks exquisite. His belt is the dumbest fucking belt so far.
I don't like the Build Driver. I think the Ghost Driver is slightly worse, but the Build Driver is kind of bad looking.
I don't know. I feel like the Build Driver's worse just for how goofy you look when you're transforming. Because you have to, like, crank it like a fucking Jack in the Box.
You shake your 2 bottles.
Yeah, you do your shake weights.
Yeah.
You plop them in, and then you crank your monkey.
It's the most humiliating thing. This is how they make sure adults don't buy it. No one's gonna scalp it on eBay.
They will.
Yeah, it's true. Nothing is gonna stop scalpers.
Ugh.
That's a shame.
I feel like it's the dumbest.
I'm gonna say maybe the not the worst, but maybe the dumbest looking when you're transforming.
Yeah, I'd say it's the dumbest, not the worst, because, like, I don't know, visually, when it's just sitting there, it looks okay.
It looks alright. It definitely doesn't look worse than the fucking lump of moldy, half-melted plastic that the Ghost Driver was.
No. That is a salt on the eyes.
It's really a crime against fashion.
Which is a shame, considering how many suits in Ghost are very fashionable.
Yeah. Bad belt, good suits. I guess
bad
that's
show,
the thing.
good
bad
suits.
show. There's also a bunch of smashes in this. One that looks like a cube, one that looks kind of like a jet. One guy that's got 3 faces. Is it a boat? Guy's got a sword.
I don't know.
They look kind of neat.
There's
I like them.
There's a dude with a sombrero or a cowboy hat.
There's a guy with what looks like a cowboy hat. Maybe he's got the Gatling bottle.
Maybe.
I think what Bill does is he captures the essences of things, just like he wanted to capture Ex-Aid's essence.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where he's going to get his bottles, is by capturing the essences of these Smash guys. They take...
Hopefully.
Like, he takes, like, a jet Smash and gets, like, a jet bottle to use later. I think that's
what is the name of the rival guy?
Closer.
Closer. Is that him, or there was a different one, wasn't there?
Night Rogue. And I
Nitro.
believe that's Closer in the picture.
He looks like Kamen Rider Kiva and Machine Chaser fucked, and he popped out afterwards.
He does look like a robot bat.
Oh well.
Oh well. I think it's cool
Cool.
looking. He looks like he's gonna fly at you really fast with his exhaust pipes.
He's got cool ass pipes coming out of him.
And I like his wires.
You could use him as a bong, like, really easily. It looks like. He's even got, like, a spout coming out of his fucking forehead.
This definitely was designed for massive rips. Also, at the very, very end, at the very bottom, there's a bunch of little silhouettes. It's Toei saying, or Bandai, or whoever saying, hey, remember all those mismatches we showed earlier with the vacuum cleaner form and whatnot? We'll show the best matches soon. Probably next month.
Best match is coming at you.
Best match for vacuum cleaner. What do you pair up a vacuum cleaner with? Go. Wrong. It's a cockroach.
No. Why?
I don't know.
I guess you vacuum cockroaches up with it.
That's what I would do if I had a vacuum. Yeah.
You don't have a vacuum?
No, I just use a broom.
Oh yeah, you don't have any carpets.
Yeah, I'm poor, okay. Jeff. I live on hardwood.
Hardwood is not for poor people.
Sorry, I live on stone.
There we go. I live in a dirt floor. If I vacuumed, I'd have no floor.
I just live under the bridge.
It's good that you still have internet there. I'm happy for that.
I have a little Wi-Fi powered by a hamster.
Okay. Let's stop painting this fanciful tale.
You see the wheel. He runs on the wheel, which gives the wheel electricity to shock him, so he keeps running. What?
God, that's ingenious. Look. Is there any more fucking news?
No, that's the end of the news.
So let's move on and talk about Choujin Sentai Jetman episodes 13 and 14.
This week, we learned why we watch the episodes in twos, because it's a perfect two-parter this week.
Yeah, we hit it perfectly, thankfully.
Right on the nose. I'm really scared one day we're going to watch the first half of a two-parter, and that's going to be like the second episode we watch.
We did that in Fives once. Where our third episode was the first part of a two-parter.
Yeah.
The two-parter is basically Kaori loves Ryu.
Real bad.
Everyone loves Kaori.
Yeah. See, there's a love triangle as a theme in Jetman, right? Kaori loves Ryu. Ryu loves no one. Fucking Guy loves Kaori. In this episode...
Ryu loves Rie. She's fucking dead.
Who is dead beyond reproach.
Although she is still alive.
In this, she's still alive as a villain.
Yeah.
This episode...
You can't fuck a villain.
Fuck that. In this episode, there's a camera monster that takes a photo of people, but that guy really takes a backseat to romance drama between the cast. And he captures...
We find out that Raita has a crush on Kaori as well.
That seems contrived.
It's very superfluous. It's like... I just don't see how that's going to help the narrative whatsoever.
Well, you know how it's how they present it too in the episode. Like they run off, and Kaori makes fucking Ryu a sweater or a sweater vest because she has no clue what fashion is. Yeah. She gives him a sweater vest, and he's like, "I really can't be seen in this." And she says, "Oh God, oh."
He doesn't say that. He says, "I can't accept this."
He says, "I can't accept it because it's the ugliest thing that I can't wear." And she goes, "Oh no."
He says, "I don't want to look like fucking palette swap Doug, Nickelodeon's Doug. Take this shit back."
How many episodes in a row can we bring up Doug?
We're at 2 now, baby. We're riding this train.
So he says, "Take it back. I'm in love with Rie still. I can't get tangled up with a warrior."
He doesn't tell her any of this.
I know, but this is motivation. I'm condensing. Yeah. He's in love with Rie, and he can't get tangled up with a coworker. So she runs off and says, "Oh." And, Wright is like, "Gosh, that hurts, having a girl like another guy who I like." And Akko is sitting there like, "Wait a minute, Wright, you're in love with Kaori?" And that's it. That's the beginning, middle, and end of that whole subplot.
Yeah, it's like a little cutaway, too, while other shit's happening.
Yeah.
We learn your boy's true colors in this episode.
Guy,
when Guy turns out to be the biggest bitch of all time.
He is like any normal adult would have moved on by now. He is such a fucking bitch about Kaori. Come on, man.
He straight up is crying and begging on the ground for the fucking Vyram lady to bring her back, and I'm like, are you like an idiot? What are you doing?
Guy, you've been at this for 13 weeks. You know how things work by now. Just beat the monster and everything goes back to normal.
Yeah,
that's it.
Fucking Ryu shows up and he's like, "Guy, what the fuck are you doing? She's not gonna bring her back."
Guy, you're embarrassing us. Guy, for fuck's sake.
And
you're making us
like,
look bad.
And then she's like, "Bring me the head of Red Hawk." And he's like, "Alright."
He seriously starts doing it. And Ryu's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Guy, sit down."
It's an easy decision for Guy, though, right? He's like, "Well, I don't even like this guy, so..."
It's a win-win.
I really hate him, so this works out for me.
Here's the thing, though. Guy, before he joined Jetman, clearly would go out to gambling dens and fuck a different woman every day. And suddenly he's so hung up on this one, who is not even... What is Kaori's...
She's weird looking.
I'm not saying
weird looking.
I'm not saying she's not attractive, but what are her attractive personality qualities that would make a man like Guy...
Like Guy, I have no idea, but I understand why, like, somebody like Raita or somebody like Ryu could fall for her because she's very caring and she's very, like,
rich.
She overcomes obstacles in her way with gusto and believes in herself and her team.
If you married her, you'd never have to work a day in your life. I guess that's the attractive quality.
I'm also in love with her.
Yeah.
Now, so
you would live in the lap of luxury until you died.
Jesus. You could have all the warm milk, all the hotto milk.
All the hot milk you ever wanted. Is that a thing?
Is that a thing?
In Japan,
yeah.
Hot milk? It seems disgusting.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I want to try one, but my microwave is broken.
Kamen Rider Ghost is disgusting, and yet Japan did that, so what are the limits?
Who knows? Well, fucking Americans did milk and Pepsi back in the 80s.
That's disgusting. I can't believe that was ever...
I tried it.
And?
It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, what kind of combo is that?
I don't know. It's a Laverne and Shirley thing.
Laverne and Shirley was the one that invented that?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ in heaven.
I don't know.
Literally every day we stray further from God's light.
It's fucking like shit. Hot milk. I have no idea.
Hot milk must be a culture thing.
Maybe it's good.
Maybe Ryu is just really weird, but I imagine it's just a culture thing.
He does go to bars and order. That's like strange.
You're looking to get your ass kicked if you go to a bar and order milk.
Like guys like fucking give me another Jameson.
Give me a fucking J&B on the rocks.
And he comes in and he's like, "Milk, please."
I'll take milk. Give me a chocolate milk.
Do you have any cereal with the prizes in it?
I'll take a Mars bar to go with it.
Fuck, I'll take a glass of milk and a Mars bar right now. That sounds pretty good. Fucking the camera monster, like, what is Vyram Lady's name? It's something normal, isn't it? Like Maria.
It's Maria.
Maria. Yeah, like Maria wants to fuck up the Jetmans so that she can become the leader of Vyram, but the seashell man, the dude with the seashell on his head, is like, "Nah, you gotta be my wife." And the gray robot falls in love with her because she plays piano. I
liked those scenes where Gray is like trying to play the piano and he can't, and she plays it beautifully, and he's like, I don't know what the word. He's very like interested in that, and he sort of like kind of learns to play himself, and he rescues her at the end.
I like those scenes a lot too.
I like that the villains are sort of developing too and having their own interrelationships. That's very cool.
I'm like wondering what Gray's deal is, because they treat him like he's just a robot, right? And I don't know. I always think Pluto, right? And stuff like it, like Mega Man and stuff, where like robots develop real emotions.
I'm
really into that shit.
Yeah, I hope that's where they're going with him. I hope it's like, I would like an arc with him where everyone's like, "Yeah, you're just a shitty robot," and he's like, "But I have feelings too," and like he can have like an emotional character arc where you feel bad for him, and his character is deepened even though he's still a villain. I would like that a lot.
Yeah, I would too. I always like I like shows that get pretty deep into like the villains and their motivations and their interactions. I like when a villain squad doesn't really see eye to eye. They have different motivations.
Just anything going on that anything dramatic, kind of like the Orphanox. I thought were pretty good about that until Fies exploded in the last third.
Dude, I've gone on record before, I think, maybe when we were talking about Fies even, that I don't like love triangles.
Yeah.
I feel like a love triangle is pretty much the cheapest way to create drama in anything, because it's so completely overdone and cliche.
It's easy and can apply to, like, any character.
It's so over the top with Guy that it's just like, it's a treat to see him act like such a fucking idiot constantly.
It's like this bit when he's like, it's his one weakness in life, that he's so in love with this super rich lady. Maybe that's why.
He wants the money.
He can pay off all his gambling debts.
How do you even know he has debts?
I don't know. He doesn't seem
He was winning constantly at the beginning.
I'm sure, here's what happened to Guy, okay? He wins all the time.
Alright, let's listen to your fucking fan fiction.
Yeah, he wins, this is on fanfiction.ca if you want to look at it. He wins all the time because he cheats, and he got caught by a Yakuza boss. So now whenever he's not literally between, like in the 6 days that happen between every episode, he's just on the run. And he needs Kaori's money so he can hire a bodyguard to follow him around everywhere.
Maybe he's just really into dimples.
Could be that too.
I don't know. It's really strange because it was made out to begin with like he was only really interested in her because she was a girl.
Yeah, he's a womanizer who will go after any woman, and she's a woman, so he's like, hey, get with me. But he seems like so obsessed now.
Like he's genuinely in love with her, and I feel like if there's even the slightest bit of inclination towards this as like information straight to the audience and not just me thinking it and pulling it from thin air, that it's because she doesn't want him. That's the only reason he's so into her.
And he's never been refused before because he's so hot and cool.
Yeah, he's not... Anytime he's shown this level of interest in a girl, she's always reciprocated.
Yeah, she's always reciprocated.
Fuck you. Her name is Kaori.
Kaori.
Not
My favorite character in Jetman is You start the word.
It could have been Ryu or Rie. It doesn't really matter.
You start the word and you just pray to God that it comes to you when you're in the middle of it. That's how I speak usually.
How's that working out for you?
Pretty bad. Not good on dates, turns out.
These episodes are really great. Like, there's a part at the end of the first episode and the middle of the second episode where there's like a piano concerto being played while things are happening.
Loved that during the action scene.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It does that thing. These two episodes do that Kuga thing where there's a monster, but who gives a shit about the monster because there's character drama happening in the foreground.
Yeah.
The monster is just there so we can have an action scene and sell toys, but like there's the real shit is the love triangle happening. And that's what you're watching for. And I like the Juoger Jetman. I like that Jetman has a lot of like conflict in the team. They're not friends really. A good chunk of them fucking hate each other. Well, mainly just Guy, but
Guy hates everyone else besides Kaori.
They don't get along perfectly, and
Guy is the problem.
Guy really they need to.
The thing is, like, Kaori loves Ryu.
Mm-hmm. So bad.
Ryu likes everybody on the team, even Guy, for some reason. Akko is just there, and Raita likes Ryu and Kaori both, and Akko. Raita's just nobody fucking likes Guy, and Guy hates everyone else.
Akko, I think to her this is like a part-time job.
Yeah.
She doesn't seem super passionate about being a Jetman. She just goes where everyone else goes. I'll punch in, I'll do what you tell me, and then I have to go to school.
It's like an after-school job. It really is.
Yeah. I think they should play that up in a later episode.
They should do something with her. She's not... Like, I'm not even entirely certain on her personality besides the fact that she's kind of greedy.
She's kind of bratty and greedy. Yeah, that's her thing. But, like, even the episodes that focus on her... What was the last one? The ramen episode?
Yeah, we learned more about the ramen guy.
Yeah, it doesn't really show us a lot about her character.
The next episode's focusing on her, though, so maybe.
Maybe. Fingers crossed.
That was like a Whiplash thing, too, right? Where, like, at the end of the episode, there's this, like, super emotional shit happening, and, like, Guy is, like, crushing a flower in his hand because he can't have the love that he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And then it cuts and it's like, next episode, Akko goes on a wacky adventure!
She's getting banana cream pies thrown in her face, and slipping on banana peels, and eating bananas, and...
Just a lot of bananas.
Just a ton of banana stuff.
Shit's going bananas in the next episode.
My favorite scene in this episode is the scene in the bar when Guy is like, Ryu, you're so bad with women, I bet you've never been in love before. And Ryu has a fucking breakdown on the pool table when he's so traumatized by the death of his girlfriend. I really like that. I like that callback.
And also, it looks like Guy is about to sodomize him throughout the whole scene. I was like, why are you still leaned over?
It's not Toku unless there's constant gay tension.
I guess that's true.
Throughout every episode, there has to be the constant threat of fucking.
Threat?
the looming threat of sex in every episode.
To the audience, there's gonna be sex in this. Yeah, I like that Ryu has, like, real pathos going on. Like, he lost his fucking girlfriend, and it still haunts him.
For a bit, they seem to forget that sometimes. I mean, it's just like normal person shit. You're not constantly freaking out over it. But I like when they remind you, hey, he's still hurting. It wasn't that long ago.
No, I mean, that was his fiancé. It wasn't his girlfriend.
Was it his fiancé?
I think so, yeah.
Shit, they seemed very close.
And then his fucking grandma sets him up, like, right after she dies. Damn, grandma!
Inappropriate.
Jeez, she needs some, fucking grandchildren, great-grandchildren now.
Great-grandchildren. Is that really such a big deal? You already have grandchildren. You made it far enough. Just
you had children, you had grandchildren. You're just being greedy, you old bitch.
Yeah. Seriously.
She's dead anyway, it doesn't matter.
She's for sure dead right now.
She definitely died after that episode.
Literally the second after it ended, just a massive heart attack.
R.I.P. whatever the fuck your name was, Grandma.
R.I.P. Here's on Rider Club Radio where we talk about old ladies dying of heart attacks. And
we do talk about old people dying fairly often on this program.
The only thing that can make us laugh is other people being sad or bad things happening. That's pretty much... That's the height of humor.
Damn.
Learning about Liam. I love Jetman.
I love Jetman too, but fucking I would love for there to be, like, just a graphic, right? That, like, just like a show called Learning About Liam. And it's just like 2 minutes long where you just do some fucking heinous ass shit. Where, like, you just tell a little story.
Just like a dark secret.
Yeah, you just tell a little story. Like, one time in college, there was this guy in my chemistry class. His name was Dave. Dave one time put his leg out when I went past and tripped me. I killed him by stabbing him 37 times, and I buried him in the woods. And once a week, I go out in the woods and piss on it. And then just like a cartoon Liam pops up and it goes learning
about Liam. The last guy that looked at me wrong is currently dissolving in my bathtub.
And you like stare directly at the camera unblinkingly when you tell these stories.
I think I got an idea for after Rider Club Radio ends. I think I have a follow-up podcast all set.
3-minute long podcast.
It's a quickie. It's a little bite-sized podcast.
It's put up 37 times a day. Jetman is great. I fucking love the two-parter. It's my favorite so far.
Thoroughly,
of all that I've watched in Jetman. It was my favorite.
Thoroughly enjoyed those 2 episodes, and I hope for the best in the future.
Yeah, here's hoping that Jetman does not screw the fucking pooch.
You never know with these shows.
You never know.
It's tough to keep it going for 50 episodes. Anyways,
our first email.
Not even skip the segue and go straight into it.
Our first email says, "Hello, Jeff. And that's from fucking Paradox, right? Paris Paradox person.
Okay, yeah.
Hello, Jeff, and somewhat Liam.
Somewhat.
Your Paradox person named Paris. Wow, today has been eventful, hasn't it? Here's one non-Toku related question. Liam, how do you feel knowing Mustard is good and Muteki is better, you sack of shit? This
how do
man
I
is
feel?
so mean to you, or
Whatever.
woman. I don't know.
Whenever I talk about my opinions, I always have to preface with the age-old axiom: it's lonely at the top. And it truly is. It's lonely at the top of opinions.
Well,
So
now
that's-
that we're done with opposite day, let's get to the questions. 1. If you had the power to, would you rather make it that all the riders have to go up levels through experience and not through gashats and level up through the episodes, or all the riders get level 1-like forms from the heads being, with the heads being the same, of course. Like, every form gets a level 1 form with it.
Oh, fuck. Definitely that second one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the second one, too. That sounds great.
I liked it with Mighty Brothers. I want big, goofy level 1 forms every
Dude,
time.
I want a big, goofy, dangerous Dan Gashat, or fucking form, level 1 form.
Imagine Muteki level 1.
That would be fucking great. Question 2. Liam, if I poured a shit ton of mustard on your cereal and offered you $80,000, would you eat it?
For $80,000, I'd suck a dick covered in mustard.
Jesus! Learning
Learning about Liam.
3. If there was another special just for fun, like Beast Rider Squadron, what 2 riders would you like to see come back in it? One Heisei and one Showa. Or it could be anyone. Shit.
2 riders. Let's assume this is for build.
Sure.
For the sake of realism. Two riders. Let's see. A Heisei and a Showa. I'd bring back Tendo Soji, because he deserves it.
Sure.
And I would bring back from Showa... Amazon, because I want to see him rip his shirt off and be an old
He's
man.
dead.
Is he dead?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I'm not sure. That's it could be, but I don't know.
I'm thinking maybe not. I
If
think
he's-
maybe I'm full of shit.
If he's not dead or in jail, Amazon.
Well, my choice is Super 1.
Super 1 and stronger and tackle.
Oh.
And
My choice is
Rider Man.
actually, I would bring back Tetsuo Kurata.
Oh,
and,
yeah, black. Yeah.
Ren Kiriyama.
It took me like half a second. Yeah. They would definitely both come back, too.
And then they would be the two. Ren Kiriyama as Shotaro did that line where he said, "Black Riders, huh? I feel like we have a kinship."
Yeah, and Heisei Showa.
It'd be absolutely fucking amazing to see him team up as Joker with Kamen Rider Black.
As long as it was black and not Black RX. That's important.
Yes.
Fuck Black RX.
Wow, he guessed that you would pick Knight,
Nope.
but you didn't.
Not every time.
Alrighty, that's all. Hope you have a great day, Jeff. Thank you,
Oh.
Paris Paradox person.
Okay.
You are a harsh mistress or master. I don't know. Our next email is from Jake the Snake,
Oh boy.
who says, "Hey RCR, at last the end of the game, but technically not because 3V Cinema's incoming. I smiled when Emu did the Jotaro thing during the final time stop. I appreciate that they formally acknowledged the losses over the course of the series, and even the Snipe special. For a character that didn't appear too often, Burgermon's dad / Sakuru made a pretty big contribution to the heroes. So it was cool that he got promoted to being the new president of Genmu Corporation. Questions. 1. With the series finished, what are some of your favorite critical cut-in portraits used in an episode of Ex-Aid? When I asked this question the first time, Jeff's answer was Tattle Critical Finish / Strike, and Liam's was Mighty Critical Strike.
I can't say Mighty again, but I fucking love those special effects. I can't say that again.
Yeah.
Ooh. I like Critical Dead for Dangerous Zombie.
I do like Critical Dead a lot.
I think, but Critical Judgment was super cool for Kronos.
Cruise Aid.
Critical Crusade, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna say Critical Crusade. I thought that was neat.
I'm gonna say Mighty Brothers Critical Finish.
Yeah.
I thought that one was really cool.
Mighty Brothers was a cool form.
It is. I have to give it to Hypercritical Sparking and Perfect Knockout Critical Bomber of Emu and Parrot during episode 40 as the prelude to that double rider kick. And I love how the screen was split to show each of their respective stances prepping for the finish. That was really cool.
Yeah. That double rider, that whole fight scene was really well choreographed. And the double rider kick was obviously a nice little cherry on top at the end.
Favorite solo henshin scene and favorite henshin scene of at least 2 riders in Ex-Aid.
Oh gosh.
My favorite henshin scene of 2 riders has gotta be Emu and Parrot when they first worked together.
Yeah, that's unbeatable.
That was my absolute favorite.
My favorite solo henshin of all time is fucking Dan Masamune, because there was a period of time where he would only transform in front of the giant novelty clock, and it was wherever he was, he had to go to the giant novelty clock. So I'm going to say Dan Masamune to Kamen Rider Kronos, because I like the clock.
Man, that's really tough. I think I'm going to have to choose anytime Kiria transformed.
Oh, with a kick.
Yeah, with his spin kick
to
transform.
Was super cool.
I always enjoyed that. Thank you, and looking forward to the next episode as always, as well as Build, hoping it becomes an exception to the Kamen Rider inverse suit quality principle. Thank you for remembering the title of that principle.
Do we know who is subbing Build?
No.
Does anyone?
I don't know.
Overtime came out on Twitter and said, see you this weekend with the new Build episode, but they provide the Raws, so I don't know if that's what they're talking about. Hopefully they decide to sub it, but we'll see.
I don't know.
Anyone out there thinking about subbing Build?
Let us know.
Now's the time. I guess we have TV Nihon if all else fails.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they're a last resort.
Our next email is from Crofton, who says, "Hey RCR, Ex-Aid was quite the trip, but at least the ending had more impact than the entirety of the series before it. I won't mention its name to spare you both a little trauma." Sidetracking from Ex-Aid for a moment, I wanted to share a theory I had about Amazons and where they could have gotten the cells from. To keep it short, I believe that the Amazon cells are just modified worm cells from Kabuto, since the way the random Amazons transformed was similar to how the worms molt into their individual creature forms. What do you two think about it? I feel like someone at some point in Amazons would have mentioned the alien invasion.
I always thought they got the Amazon cells from like a weird thing they found in the Amazon rainforest, hence the name. That was my headcanon. They went to some guy found like a creature that no one found before and was like, yo, this is fucked up. And then they put it in human bodies.
Let's shove it into people.
That's the smartest thing. Just rub it all over the nearest person.
Ugh. Our last email, thanks for writing in.
If Season 3 is about the origins of the Amazon cells, I'll be happy. There's another avenue that you can explore.
That'd be really cool.
If
I
it's
don't
got
think
really
they're going to do that.
No, that'd be too smart. If it's got like fucked up origins, I would love to see a show about that.
Wouldn't it be crazy if the origins of Amazon cells were actually Amazon? Kamen Rider Amazon?
Like, hey, back in the 70s, there was this guy running around.
Yeah.
That would be extra cool, actually, if they managed to work that in.
That'd be pretty fucking cool.
We'll see.
Thanks for writing in, Crofton.
Yes.
Our final email is from Timeline, who says, "Hi guys, it's time for the yearly Create a Rider form question.
Oh
if
my
you were
god!
If you were creating a build form that summed up you or your life, what would the 2 full bottles be? Thanks, casual acquaintance of the show, Timeline."
Me or my life? Pug dice.
What is? I guess dice has.
I play a lot of D&D.
Tabletop, yeah. What is with you and pugs?
I like pugs, alright? I like my pug.
It's you and fucking pugs, though. It's always pugs with you.
Well, I like pugs, alright?
Jesus.
Don't judge me.
I'm gonna choose turtle for my... I feel like turtles are very underused because they're not like flashy attack animals. They're defense animals.
They're defense animals, yeah.
So I'd have like a big shield, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what would my inorganic object be?
What would you pick, motherfucker? A pencil?
Maybe.
A pen? A paintbrush? I don't know.
Yeah, I'd probably be like a pencil, right?
Yeah.
And it would be like a sword. For sword and shield.
Mm-hmm.
I did it, everybody!
Great. See, the pug dice form would be, depending on what it rolls on the dice, it might be good, or it might not be.
So it's just like your Morrowind form.
Just that's all my forms is maybe it's good. If you're lucky.
It sums up your life.
Maybe something nice will happen. Nope.
Shit. Leave that in.
Okay, yeah.
Leaving me dying.
This is how raw this podcast is. If one of us dies on, the other one will just upload it. It's fine.
Tell my kids I hate them.
You tell them that enough.
I don't have any, so...
Oh.
They've been dead for 30 years! Dun dun dun!
How many spoilers can we squeeze into this podcast?
You know what? If you would like your email read in whole or in part, as some of you who wrote in this week will obviously point out, then you can send your emails to riderclubradio@gmail.com.
And if you would like your tweets read not at all, you can tweet us at Rider Club Radio, or follow us on Twitter at Rider Club Radio.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week for the very first episode of Kamen Rider Build.
Oh boy!
Bye-bye!
See ya!
I don't wanna know 下手な真実なら I don't wanna know 知らないくらいがいいのに Why, 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 why 気づけば I came too far 止まらない感じるこの予感は The new beginning 未知の領域今を切り開くんだ I gotta believe そっとエキサイエキサイDidn't wanna know 夢見るほどに Didn't wanna know 傷が増えてくのは Why, 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 why 気づけば No one's around 神が与えしたった一つの trial Hey, what's the purpose 追的な鮮やかに超えていくよ I gotta believe I gotta believe I gotta believe I gotta